Okay, so this is a video from Pancho, Pancho. Pancho. He has 2.14 million subscribers. It says Gordon Ramsay's situation got worse. Never heard of this guy, except I've never heard of this person. Yeah, she looked really displeased and annoyed. She looked like you feel like he thinks he's full of shit. I'm not gonna lie, he's not full of shit. I just think they're giving too much information way too hard. The fact that they're giving as much information as they're doing, as he just did, tells me that there's something horrific coming. Because it's one thing to ease everyone in with every file comes out, whatever case may be, but for him to give that much information from when they started all this bullshit tells me something more, right? Hell's Kitchen for a reason. So in this video it says, reason 4, not to eat at a Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. Dog is allowed to pee and shit inside manager. It says it's fine. They put a wee pad in there. What the fuck?
Ma'am, what is your job using a wee pad in a restaurant? The manager told me, and I quote, "That's what we can do. We don't use the manuals." That's awful. So you want us to pay the full bill? We're not. You're going to remove the service charge. We cannot control the animals, ma'am.
So I've been paying attention to the Gordon Ramsay situation recently, and if you haven't heard about anything that's going on with Gordon Ramsay and his restaurants recently, you can check out my last video on the topic. But if you don't want to watch it, I'll give you a summary. Basically, this lady posted a video while she was inside one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants, and in the video you can see a dog standing over a poop pad, and when she asked the manager about a poop pad being out while everybody was eating, the manager said that they can't control the dog. And of course, this is against restaurant health code, so she posted a video about it. They also gave her no refund, no discount, no anything. They just made her pay the full bill while having poop pads as a part of their dining experience. So of course, after that shitty experience, she made a video saying, "Hey guys, don't eat here. They allow poop pads and dogs." And of course, this went really viral because of how absurd the situation was, especially coming out of a Gordon Ramsay restaurant out of all places. And when Gordon Ramsay responded to this situation, he didn't take it serious at all for some reason, which was surprising coming from Gordon Ramsay, the person who has built his whole brand around restaurant ethics and restaurant cleanliness and restaurant quality. I mean, for fuck's sake, he has a show called Kitchen Nightmares where he critiques and slams restaurants for bad practices. And if anything, this right here is a kitchen nightmare, bro. This is something that he would critique another restaurant for if they allowed this. So it was obviously a little confusing seeing Gordon just dismiss and laugh off a bad dining experience at one of his restaurants that was caught on video. And as somebody who grew up watching Gordon Ramsay's shows, him mocking the situation was just flat out disappointing to see and disgusting. Eventually, he had to delete the TikTok mocking the situation, probably because he realized that video made him look really bad. And I think the weirdest and most malicious part of this all is that he's doing a press run trying to convince the public that this is just no big deal. And he does it in a really deceptive way that paints the lady as a quote-unquote crazy person, even though the entire f***ing situation is on film. In these interviews, he completely misrepresented the lady's claim that she was making in the first place. She was upset about a dog being allowed to have a poop pad in a restaurant where you're supposed to eat and not have dog shitting. But Gordon's response to this made it seem like the lady was claiming that a dog went to the restroom in the restaurant, when that wasn't even the claim the lady was making in the first place. The claim the lady was making was that a dog was allowed to have a poop pad in a restaurant, and they didn't do anything about it. Obviously, the main person to blame for the situation happening in the first place is the manager of the restaurant, but Gordon hasn't made any comments about firing the manager or anything. He hasn't even really engaged with the situation or the facts, period. He's just dismissed it and called it bullshit. That's all he's done so far. Obviously, I think we can all agree that this manager should just be fired, but I think Gordon deserves some criticism for the situation because it seems like he's trying to do damage control here, but failing miserably and making himself look bad in the process. With how dismissive and misrepresentative Gordon Ramsay's response has been to this, it's made me more skeptical about how good the guy actually is, and as somebody who's watched a lot of his shows, it's just flat out disappointing to see him act like this because you wouldn't think he's the type of guy to act like this. But today we're going to explore the situation a little bit more because there's more stuff that I didn't cover in the last video. In my last video about this topic, it ended off going...
I think the biggest problem that you have, my friend, is that you actually put enough faith to think because you see someone on TV, that's exactly how they are. Never take whatever you see on TV on how everyone is. That's even referring to people you watch on YouTube. That refers back to me. Like, if you watch me, you think some specific way because I'm... and how I react to things may be true or may not be true, but to outright think that as a face value is insane. You don't know that person. You don't know how they are. They just do it for their job. You think we don't know if Gordon Ramsay actually does all that screaming and yelling. How do you know that's just not part of the whole act? You don't know if these people are paid. You don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? You never truly know what's really going on behind closed doors or when people are not being watched, or it case may be. Never assume that that's what they are because they're on TV. Like I'm saying, you don't. Most people don't act the way they do knowing there's a camera in front of them. So like, it's insane for you to say you're disappointed. I get it, but like, Jesus. Yes, shame on Gordon for just... What he should have did is like, that's unacceptable, something whatever, or they said that's our policy and they were trying to be more inclusive or some shit like that. But for him to be so dismissive, it's just like, come on, dude.
Over Gordon Ramsay's response to the situation, but the lady who brought light to the situation in the first place hasn't stopped backing down making videos, just correcting the record and everything, and she's responding to every single one of his responses, which is honestly, I mean, I respect it. Very brave of her as well with how many Gordon B riders there are, and I think it's pretty cowardly that Gordon himself hasn't directly responded to the lady or directly responded to any of the lady's claims.
Gordon Ramsay is on a press run with Fox for his upcoming shows this season. TMZ happened to be outside to ask him the questions that everybody has been wanting to know. Listen here.
Thank you. How are you? So I'm going to ask you, did you ever get a chance to address that TikToker that had the issue with the dog inside the shop?
What we have seen is the CCTV footage, and under no circumstance did that dog do a pee or a and so over-exaggerated, as always, clickbait, but thank you for your honesty and the question.
We'll talk more about TMZ towards the end of this video, but one of the things that stuck out in my mind and stuck out in other people's minds too was this one sentence that Gordon Ramsay said.
Over-exaggerated, as always.
Over-exaggerated as always. What does that mean? Let's keep watching the questioning from TMZ.
Last. Would you consider not having dogs at all? Is that something that's not going to happen?
Dogs are welcome outside the terrace on the restaurant. There we go. Thank you guys.
So Gordon Ramsay says that dogs are allowed at the restaurant, but they have to be outside. Reminder, the dog was inside of a closed restaurant.
This is stupid. All you have to do, he's not, why is he being so dismissive of this? That's the weirdest part, maybe because it makes him look bad, but it will make him look good if he just literally just address it and say that was something that shouldn't have happened. That's it. That owner should have been fired. That's it. I think this would have put this to end rest, and next time we'll do better. That's what. It's because it already happened. What can he do? So all you have to do is just say, you know what, that was kind of inappropriate what happened there. I'm going to give the lady a discount or a free meal or some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. This feels dumb somehow.
With a poop pad as well.
I don't know about you, but it's not really complicated. Either your restaurant met the standards that you have set for underneath your brand, or it did not. Yes or no. It's not just the incident at the restaurant. It's how you dealt with it after. It's the dressing up your black dog in a diaper and stitching my video and laughing about it with your daughter. It's the comment you put in the comment section where you stated that you would be selling doggy diapers now. It's the event that happened, and it's how you handled it after. This is what has people questioning your entire brand.
Fully agreed. Yeah, honestly, this was probably the worst way to handle this whole situation, how he responded with this TikTok. This was just like, dude, how out of touch can you be? But the thing that he's not bringing up is that this random TikTok video exposes his restaurant and makes his restaurant look bad. And honestly, makes his restaurant look like a kitchen nightmare. So him laughing this off with a TikTok in an interview where he misrepresents the lady just comes off as really condescending and belittling. He's completely dismissing her experience. Also, what did he mean by exaggerated as always? People aren't exaggerating. They're going based off what they're seeing.
I want to show you guys something. So the same Fox Corporation, we all know Fox, that owns Fox News, also has Gordon Ramsay's shows underneath its umbrella, and they also acquired TMZ in 2021.
So this part to me is pretty interesting because Gordon responded to the situation on Fox News and TMZ, which is interesting because he's also owned by Fox Corp, and he decided to use those two platforms that are also owned by Fox Corp to dismiss the situation. So he's kind of using his influence and power and alliance with Fox News to try to shut this lady's claims up. That's how I perceive this. He's using his platforms to counter this lady's claims and misrepresent them, even though, like, bro, there's literal physical evidence, there's video evidence of her claims.
I brought up hygienic concerns 3 times at your restaurant. Not only was I concerned for myself and my newborn, I was also concerned for the other patrons that were in the restaurant. Based on my experience, I did not find your restaurant to be hygienic for myself or my newborn.
Valid. I don't think anybody would find a restaurant hygienic if they were allowing dogs inside, as well as allowing those dogs to have poop pads in this restaurant. Like, that's just so crazy, bro. That's so gross.
Well, imagine you're eating your food. A dog, some person puts a literal wee-wee pad, no more than like probably a couple of inches behind you and your family, right? Or they're just like they're right behind you, right? You're in your chair or pew, what do you want to call it? You're eating your food, and the next thing you smell is fresh dog shit as you're eating your food, fucking up your whole experience. And it's not just dog shit. What if the dog has massive diarrhea for whatever reason, not stinking up the entire place? Because I remember I was dog sitting. I remember this was like 7 years ago. I was dog sitting my aunt's dog. I put down Zoe, the dog's name Zoe. I put the wee pad down as normal because I've dealt with Zoe thousands of times and she makes little poops, so where case may be on it, or she pees on it, whatever. The one thing I like about the wee pad, it contains the smell of the piss, because but like it doesn't contain the smell or stops the smell of the shit. Now, what was wild about that is that the one thing about Zoe is that when she takes a dump, which is funny how I'm explaining this because I'm talking about a dog taking a dump, she's a small Yorkie. For some odd reason, when she poops, you can't smell a fucking thing. I know this because before we started giving her wee pads, she would poop under your bed. And the wild thing is, she has these round little poops, so like you can't, and they're like hard round little poops. So what's wild is you think you will smell that. No, for some odd reason, the smell never emanated out of her feces at all. You know, it's funny, I'm making this conversation, anyone come walking hearing this. But like, no. So what happened is when I put down the wee pad and she used it, what my aunt didn't tell me is that she gave the dog some type of food and something different from what she usually would eat. And I guess the food didn't agree with the dog for whatever reason, because the dog wasn't acting strange or anything. The dog was just doing her thing. Like, she would walk around, come up to me, wants pets and, play with her little toy, whatever. And then she got up. I looked at her. She got up, went to her wee pad because she knows how it goes because we have taught her how to use it. And then as soon as she used her wee pad, this horrific emanating smell just came and punched me across the fucking face. And I went to go check, and I was like, it's definitely a... So when I went and checked, it was fucking diarrhea. The dog had some insane diarrhea. And this is the first time for me with this dog, of me watching it for all the years I watched it. Whenever it pooped, it was these small little poops, you know what I'm saying? And then you wouldn't smell it and you have to clean it up and all that stuff. But when she diarrheaed on the wee pad, the smell was horrible. I was like, oh, it's like someone died. It was horrible. And it's not like, I'm not even being hyperbolic. It was not like, oh shit, it smells. It was like, yours just smells something so horrific. You can taste it and you can vomit at once. That's how bad it was. Out of this little puppy, this little Yorkie thing. It was a horrific experience. And I had to call my aunt. Because it was a diarrhea. So I had to call her and say, why is the dog diarrheaing? Like, this is wild, right? She told me that she gave the dog some type of new food that she's trying. And because I guess it just didn't agree with her for whatever reason, the dog just had to let it rip. And because she did, oh my God. And I was so glad she was perfect on the wee pad. Because if she did, because at the time, my floor is carpet. carpet, bro. If this dog missed, that shit would have been embedded in my floor. That shit was wild. And it was a lot of diarrhea. That shit, she perfectly knew where the was. Oh my god, thank God she didn't like that up. You know what I'm saying? It was a horrific smell. Now imagine being at your local or you went to a Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, not thinking of anything other than trying some good food. Next thing you know, as you're eating your steak, your sandwich, your burger, your shrimp, whatever the hell you ordered, you're getting a gust of diarrhea from a fucking Yorkie right next to you, no more than a feet away from you. Fucking up your whole experience, making the whole place smell. It's not like you're the only one smell. You can smell that shit. Oh hell no! I'm suing. No, bro. I didn't pay to smell dog ass. No way.
Ever in a restaurant and I seen a dog walk in, I might be a little worried. I might be like, huh, why are they allowing a dog in here? But if I saw a dog with a poop pad inside of a restaurant, or even a poop pad being laid out for a dog for that matter, I'd probably want a refund as well, and I'd probably be walking out at that point. Anyways, as I said earlier, Gordon decided to respond again. I didn't even know he made multiple responses. I thought he only made the TikTok response and the TMZ response, but apparently he responded again on Fox News to clear up the situation again, even though it's kind of unclearable. Honestly, the best response to this is just to apologize and fire the manager, but
that's what I'm saying! Why didn't you just do that?
I guess his ego is preventing him from being able to do that.
Like cooking show, on your horizon.
Next Level Meatball, coming right your way, Fox 5. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Happy belated Mother's Day. And to all those amazing mothers, and the expecting mums as well.
That is amazing. Listen, how do you do it? Because, you are a real deal chef. You have restaurants on top of hit shows on Fox. Because a lot of these, TV chefs, they're not in the kitchen.
No, they don't cook. I do. I love my job. In fact, it's not a job, it's a passion.
Okay, so it takes...
Oh shit, he just exposed. He said they don't cook. Oh my god. I don't know. I feel some type of way. Gordon says that most of these modern chefs don't cook, and then he's been on these shows with these modern chefs like Master Chef and all that stuff, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, puts their whole existence into question. I will feel some type of way.
It's them quite a while to get to talking about the whole dog situation. I think they just spend the first 3-4 minutes glazing this dude. Actually, they spend a lot more than 4 minutes glazing him. I'm just gonna go straight to the lady's response to this because I can't even be bothered to watch this all the way through to wait until he talks about it, because I can tell that Fox News is purposefully trying to distract from that topic and more interested in glazing him for eternity.
Gordon Ramsay went on Fox 5 to address Doggate, and this is what he had.
She's on his ass. She's on his ass. She knows as long as she's on his ass, this could be a big payday. She's gonna get a payday. She's getting payday one way or another. She's getting paid because people are now associating her to Gordon Ramsay about the dog, right? And she's wearing no dogs allowed. She is getting paid, bro. And then once he finally addresses this, the day he addresses this is the day she's gonna have a crazy money stack.
To say.
That dog did no wee-wee, no number 2, and so for that lady to go out and say that didn't happen.
I believe the lady.
And we now have maitre d's under the table searching for pea mats. However, we don't accept that kind of stuff.
Of course
secondly,
not.
It's a restaurant, but the dog did not wee. But if the dog took a bite of this, it would definitely shit itself. So he makes a joke about having the maitre d's look under the tables and then more jokes. Instead of responding with professionalism and empathy, the situation was turned into a joke on television. The man who has built his entire brand on accountability and customer care has not administered that at all. I also found it interesting that this happened on a show that profits from the Gordon Ramsay brand. As I told you in the previous video,
see, this is why you can't take news articles, you can't take news seriously, you can't take journalists seriously, you can't take gaming journalism seriously, you can't take any corporate type, entity type, conglomerate type entities seriously, because all these people who think they are in the right or they know it more than you do is just being paid off by a bigger company who has their whole hand up their rectum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get the truth from these people. They cannot be genuine with you at all. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. A lot of people cannot be honest on the fact of they don't want to piss off their superiors because they may not get that exclusive scoop from I don't know, like say IGN. IGN is not going to go against the narrative if it doesn't benefit them, so they can get exclusive access from certain game companies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be honest. That's why people don't fuck with them. That's why people don't take them seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. That's the craziest part.
And Fox shows are underneath the same umbrella. So to me, this appears to be damage control, but it failed miserably.
Agreed. And it's pretty ironic of Gordon to say in this video that, quote, we don't accept that kind of stuff, while there's video evidence of his restaurant accepting that kind of stuff. Regardless of if the dog went pee or poo, it was still allowed in the restaurant and was allowed to have a poop pad out. And the dog owner, as well as the dog, never got kicked out and sent to the terrace where they belong. So I don't know why Gordon didn't just respond saying, yeah, we made a mistake. I fired the manager. That lady was valid for her claim against my restaurant. We're sorry, and I'm sorry for making fun of the situation. I don't know why he can just say that. Like, he couldn't just directly engage with the situation and the severity of it. He doesn't give any closure with his responses. Instead, he jokes about it, then misrepresents her, and then calls it exaggerated. It's just like, dude, there's video evidence. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down in the comments below. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. With that all being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys are staying safe, hydrated, and healthy, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Cool. All right, we got one last one.